NIO stock has virtually zero risk except this one massive potential risk. I'm not talking about the fluctuations of the stock price. Stock price could go up, could go down, and I do believe that long term we're going to go way, way, way higher, triple digits. But short term, medium, short term, this year we could possibly dip down even more. And in fact, today in pre-market we're down. You know, so I'm not talking about the fluctuations in stock price as a risk. I'm talking about the survivability, the longevity of the company. And in fact, right now what we're seeing is that even though competitors are getting wiped out like Hi-Fi, here is an absolutely beautiful, I guess gruesome picture, a video of all the EV companies, new automobile companies in China that have just come and gone. And actually there are a few on there that are also about to be crossed out. And there are actually, in fact, a few that have not been crossed out that should be. But today there's actually news that Chang'an Motors is rumored to take 51% of Hi-Fi and essentially rescue them from the brink of death. Now, Hi-Fi CEO said they had 3 months left to survive, to either find a buyer or find an investor, and it seems like they have sold 51% of the company. Essentially, they're owned by Chang'an Motors, and essentially Chang'an Motors is now the proxy that owns Hi-Fi. So that's pretty interesting, and this is something that is a safety net. All right, you never want to fall onto the safety net, but the safety net is there for a purpose. And I believe that NIO, even though we're running down the cliff and we're running close to the edge, I don't think we'll fall over the cliff, because there's always a safety net. That safety net is always going to be NIO's infrastructure. All right, NIO's battery swap infrastructure and charging infrastructure. They are the #1 company in terms of chargers, in terms of automobile company with chargers. And that is very valuable. And their battery swap and battery swap tech, very valuable. And you can tell, like these guys, Chang'an, Geely, Cherry, they all want to partner up with NIO because of how valuable this is. So if it comes to that situation where NIO is on the brink, there's always going to be these guys that will swoop NIO out. And I'm sure they would love to swoop NIO out. So in terms of that, NIO has virtually no risk. All right. Now, the one risk that I'm going to be talking about here in this video is my personal opinion. All right. And the risk is obviously China and the government. And this is quite a sensitive topic, but hear me out. And this is going to be my personal opinion, all right? Me, even though I'm Canadian by passport, I'm ethnically Chinese. My parents are ethnically Chinese. My father, he is he has Chinese citizenship. And just a couple days ago, we had this excellent conversation about the current state of China in general. And he basically shares the same opinion with me and also Elon Musk, and that is the fact that something will happen with Taiwan, and it is inevitable. All right, it is inevitable. Now, let me make it clear: I do not want anything to happen with Taiwan. All right, let me make that very clear. All right, but we believe that there will be something happening with them. Okay, why? Why is the reason? Well, the thing is, my father told me this very interesting perspective. The party, all right, has ruled over China for so long. There's been so many instances of just brutally controlling the people and essentially doing a lot of stuff. Like, for example, if you read into Cultural Revolution and all that kind of stuff. So the citizens of China have been through a lot, all right? And even quite recently, the president, putting an axe on real estate, even though real estate is pretty much the backbone of the Chinese economy. They're going to straight up axe it. And then also tech companies like Alibaba going to straight up hit the hammer on it. And I would say that people here right now, all right, people are very pessimistic. Okay? People are very pessimistic, and people are, I would say, sort of not too satisfied with the guys up top. All right, so that's the best way to phrase it. And the situation is, he has to get something done. All right, he has to get something done. And what is it that he could get done? And it's the thing that China has always craved for, and that is to essentially take back Taiwan. And it's about time, right? If you think about it that way. I mean, like, he's been in office for so long. He's got to get something done, all right? So something is bound to happen, all right? And this is why you're seeing the divestment of money from China, why people are pulling money out of China. It's because of that. Now, when is it going to happen? That could be anybody's guess, all right? That's a big unknown factor. And this is why it's a huge, massive risk, an unknown risk. It might, go on for 30 more years and nothing happens to Taiwan, or it might happen next year, or might happen tomorrow. We never know. We don't know. It's a big risk. That's why it's a risk, guys. So, in terms of the company, NIO company, everything about that, I'm cool with, all right? I think there's virtually zero risk. But if you think about it right now, it's not impossible, all right? Before you say it's impossible, think about all the wars that are happening right now. There's so many wars happening right now. You got Israel, Gaza, you got Ukraine, Russia, you got Myanmar in civil war, you got several wars in Africa going on. You got the Houthis in Iran and all that kind of BS going on. It's a tumultuous period of time, and China may or may not capitalize on this turmoil and do something about Taiwan. I mean, like, it's something that isn't far-fetched, all right? And I just want you guys to know that. And this is why I think, personally, I believe this is the biggest risk for NIO and all Chinese stocks. Because if something like that happens, I think one of the things that the U.S. government might do is, of course, forced delisting of Chinese stocks, possibly. And then also just, I hope it doesn't happen, obviously. But that is something that might happen. And I guess every single investor that chooses to invest in a Chinese stock understands this risk, right? And people that can't accept it, they pulled out. And this is what you're seeing. And people cannot accept this risk, and they're pulling out. So that is a big risk for you guys. And I guess this is a very bullish video for you guys to understand. It's the fact that, NIO is in good hands for the CEO, and there's tons of people that would want to buy NIO out for the swap stations and all that kind of stuff. And there's literally no risk. We're running towards the edge, and NIO stock is on big bargain, all right? If it gets even lower, gets even cheaper, do you sell when things are on big discount, or do you buy? That's a good question to think about. So now let me make it clear. If it wasn't for U.S. intervention and people saying that they would protect Taiwan, I think China would have already done something about it, all right? So thank God the U.S. is there to say, hey, hold on to your horses, all right? Be careful what you do. We're right there. Even though it's your little brother and you want to spank it, don't do it. But every single investor that's invested in a Chinese stock understands there's this possible risk of that happening. That's the only risk I'm worried about. All right, bankruptcy, not going to happen, not possible. Take it for what it's worth. It's only my personal opinion, not financial advice. All right, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.